James Wellham says Spurs have now lost more league games this season, which is 17, than Poch lost in 3 seasons from 2015 to 2018. That was 16 losses over the course of those 3 seasons.
I think this season's also a massive lesson though as well. Like, first of all, that is pretty crazy, but obviously that's the best we've ever been in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But it's a massive lesson in terms of how bad things can get, and as you say, we're not so far off the relegation zone at the moment, and obviously we're not going to go get relegated this season, but it's a lesson in terms of you thinking that you're too big to be in this situation, and clearly we're not. And I think maybe because even when we've had bad seasons in recent years, we've still been maybe either fighting for Europe or whatever. Usually, even when we had a terrible season, even at this point, we're fighting for Europe.
Yeah.
When we finished 8th under Conte and we missed out on Europe completely, we were still in that European fight up until late.
I mean, if we would have finished like 6th or 7th this season, people would have looked at it as a terrible season.
Would have been, still would have been disappointing for sure.
You know what I mean? And we're close to 17th.
Yeah. So, but I think what I'm saying is it's a lesson that we're not too big to be in this situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think I think the club have kind of felt like we are, and we're just not.
Yeah, 100%. And maybe the club have always taken for granted. I mean, maybe it's just a lesson of like how much Harry Kane actually did for us, because I think we were talking about it the other day, like with all these 1-goal deficits that we've had this season, if Harry Kane was at the club, a lot of those would have been turned into draws or wins.
And especially with Son declining as well.
Yeah, Harry Kane was such a big figure for us and got us out of the mud consistently, time and time again, with this just sheer ability. And not only that, but work rate and giving a shit for the team consistently. Like, we just took it for granted how good he actually was. And maybe we took it for granted about saying, like, a lot of people were saying, we're never going to be able to replace him. However, we never thought it could get this bad without him.
Yeah. And as well, we were saying at the time, put the Poch here, we massively took that for granted. Massively. We said it at the time, he normalised overachievement. And there's not more true than right now. Look at the state of us. And that's the reality, I think, of this club right now in terms of where we're heading. So we just need to get our shit in order, because it hasn't been in order for a while.
You look at every era, though, like since Pochettino. Forget the Pochettino one, right? But look at the Jose Mourinho one, the Antonio Conte one. Without Harry Kane, it probably would have been very similar to this.
100%. I agree with that. If we had, I agree. It probably would have been not too dissimilar.
Yeah. Football Confidential says Vicario and Bergvall. What's going on here, do you think? I mean, it's quite clear what's going on here. Bergvall made a big mistake, and Vicario's going up to him saying, keep your chin up, mate, but in a very aggressive manner.
I agree. It's probably his Italian kind of nature. But I see a lot of people criticising Vicario. I think I saw a lot of one thing that I was getting a lot of likes saying, "Oh, classic Vicario digging out the younger players like he did early in the season." I'm like, that's not what's going on here. He's clearly trying to give him a confidence boost. I know, like, you can see Bergvall trying to get away, so maybe it looks like he's criticised. He's not. He's clearly just trying to tell him to keep your chin up, basically.
Yeah, that's just a fiery Italian mentality. That's just what it is, and I'd much rather see that from a leader in the camp than what Romero did and just walk straight down the tunnel. At least he actually gives a shit about these younger players coming through at this club, and he goes straight over to Bergvall at the final whistle. Romero don't give a shit. He just walks straight down the tunnel.
Yeah.
No context Tottenham.
That'll be our badge soon. It won't be too long.
Yeah, 100%. Kane from the Lane says Levy and a lot of Tottenham fans are in massive shock next season when the next manager doesn't have Kane to bail him out. Our team has holes. Our squad isn't good. It's been like that for ages. Kane and Son paper over the cracks, and now they're being exposed. And that's basically what we were saying before, right? Absolutely spot on that. And I don't know about if next season we're in for a real shock. We had that shock this season.
I'm not sure how much, unless you're saying we're going to get relegated next season. This doesn't get much more of a shock than what it is. Right? I hope so anyway. You never know. A
lot of Spurs fans predicted us on the back of last season finishing 5th to finish in the top 4 this season. And now we're like 6th, wherever we are, 15th, 16th, wherever we are, 2 points off 17th. I mean, if that's not the biggest shock to the system, I don't know what is.
Yeah, it should be. You'd like to think that doesn't get much more shocking than that.
Yeah. Spurs Army says, here it is, Christian Romero walking straight down the tunnel at Molineux after this afternoon's 4-2 defeat against Wolves. Some captain.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
No, it is disgusting. Especially when you're wearing that cap. Look, even if you're not, but especially that you are, the focus is going to be on you.
Yeah.
And the fact that you just, full-time whistle goes, you go straight down the tunnel. This guy, he wants out. He's going to go on to bigger things, go to Atletico, go to where they can challenge for big things. He just looks at this club. Look, it shouldn't be a massive surprise how he feels because he said it, didn't he? He said it in the media when he said, this club don't buy big players. You look at the teams above us, and they all sign big players to challenge again. In this club, we don't do that. And obviously, that's him signaling his frustration with the whole situation. And there's no surprise that he's there frustrated. Oh, there's Ange. So he's clapping.
Oh, I didn't see him. He's very far away, isn't he?
Yeah. Or is it smart for him to go too near the away fans right now?
I mean, the away fans were pretty receptive to the players that came over. I didn't hear any booing on the final whistle. It was all clapping for some reason.
Okay.